Welcome to What's Your Story? Every week I bring you an authentic guest, someone that's going to provide insight and practical advice for you to help you in your professional and personal life. So today we're going to explore the product journey from an idea in someone's head to when it shows up on a shelf or a salesman sells it. This is an often misunderstood yet underappreciated process. Fortunately, my guest today, Bruce Rubin, who's the president of BHR Global Associates. Now, Bruce has had over 3 decades of experience where he's established himself as the go-to guy when you have an idea that you are convinced will impact millions and generate a fortune. Bruce, welcome to What's Your Story?
Thank you.
I'm very curious here. You're going to enlighten me today, and you're going to enlighten our audience today. So let's start right from the beginning. What the heck do you do for your clients?
Okay. Somebody comes to me with an idea for a product and thinks they're solving a problem that exists in the world that they have and they think millions of other people have. And what we do is, first thing we do is verify that A, there's not the product on the market already, and B, is there truly an audience for such a product? And once we verify that there potentially is an audience, there aren't people already in the business of selling what you've quote unquote invented, we will then provide all the services from sourcing the product at the right cost to get the right retail. Of course, there are people who think that everything is worth $59.95 and the world is not, it's a $9.99 world. And we make sure we get the right cost, the right product, sourced from the right person, and then through our network of independent sales reps, get the product shown to everybody from QVC to Walmart. And we, as part of what we do, besides the selling, is we can provide all the support services of supply chain management, inventory control, and set up a warehousing system so that the people who have the product don't need infrastructure other than whatever they have. They don't have to hire warehouse people, they don't have to hire distribution people. We can handle all of that for them. Obviously, they have to pay for those services, but we can do all of that. So it's kind of a one-stop shop.
It may not come as a surprise to you, but the audience, and myself in particular, I get barraged with people soliciting me with this idea that they can take my idea or my invention and they can commercialize it very, very quickly.
Okay.
It's very interesting. But not every idea has a life.
Correct.
Maybe some ideas have already had a life and died and we don't know about it. So
that's all right.
What's different about your approach?
Okay. A lot of these media invention help people,
exactly.
What they do is charge an upfront fee, prepare a professional brochure as to what the product is, and then send it out to their mailing list of thousands of companies to say, what do you think, and how can we partner on your product? I used to be a subscriber to those services at companies I work for, and maybe the 150 to 200 pieces I received, all except one went into the trash can after reading it. One I kept to the next day, and then I threw it in the trash can. So there is no guarantee other than to them paying a fee for you to get any traction with your product.
So share with us a story about someone that came to you and how you were able to either help them propel into the market or you saved them from financial collapse.
All right. Through a friend of mine, whose friend is a music professor at the University of Kansas, has a problem with his cat. When they left the litter box, will keep litter after they do their thing in their claws.
I know it well.
And so he invented this mat that would prevent it from going on the carpet. So we had to make a sample. We went to a restaurant having lunch. We stopped everybody and said, would you pay you have a cat. Would you pay $19.99 to have this mat in front of your litter box? Absolutely.
Wow.
Was the answer.
So that was your market research.
That was our initial market research. That was a Thursday. Saturday morning, I went to PetSmart, and lo and behold, the man had invented a product that was actually saleable. Except there were 12 feet of displayed bath cat mats already in the store. Some of the companies had been in business based upon what it said on the point of sale information that had been in the business for 10 or 12 years.
What's your client say?
He said, thank you very much, and he kept his day job as a music professor at the University of Kansas.
Oh my goodness, that's a funny story.
Yes.
So how many of those do you think are out there? What percentage of the people that have an idea come to realize that been there, done that? Somebody's already done it.
Probably 90% or better.
That many?
Yeah, because if it hadn't been invented, if the problem really existed and,
Right.
and the product hadn't been invented or developed by companies already in business, what's new under the sun? Not a whole lot.
So how would you describe your ideal client, the type of person that you want to get involved with or that you would like to attract?
Two different clients. One is an entrepreneur who also has funding behind them that could pay for some of the services that are required to get into business, and find the product that's actually saleable, and then work with them to develop a retail price, work back to a cost, then source it in the right place at the right cost and the right quality, and then take it to our network of sales professionals to get it sold. Companies
So
that
somebody's helping to fund it.
they
Right.
need the funding. Our services, we only charge for consulting services once they're established. Sourcing, we do based upon the fact that the thing will be saleable, and therefore we'll make our money on commission of purchase orders.
Bruce, we need to stop because we need to go to commercial. Our sponsors need to tell us their story. So we'll be
Okay.
right back. When we come back, you mentioned another kind of client that you work with. I'd like to hear about that.
Okay.
We'll be right back. What's your story?
Is your business growing and now you need a new and bigger building? Has your organization outgrown their facility and now it's time to expand?
Do your hobbies require the need for more space?
If you're paying rent but now you want the advantages of owning, the prospect of financing, construction, and on-time completion may seem out of your reach. General Steel Corporation has the answer.
A pre-engineered steel building from the General will not only look great and satisfy almost any need, but you'll save time and money. Our team will help you create your building and deliver it to your location. We offer design services to help you present your concept to board members, bankers, or for fundraising. And the General can even help with financing.
General Steel is a name you know, with quality backed by a 50-year structural warranty. Call today and find out how easy it is to have the building you want.
You may even save up to $20,000 with rebates. If you need space, you need the General.
When did you see the sun?
When I needed to jumpstart sales.
Build attendance for an event.
Help people find their way. Fast Signs designed new directional signage.
And got them back on track. Get started at fastsigns.com.
Welcome back to What's Your Story? My guest today is Bruce Rubin. He's the president of a company that will take your idea and commercialize it. Before break, you were telling us about the types of clients that you hope to attract. The first one was a more group of entrepreneurs. What's the second group?
Companies, small and mid-sized companies that are having issues with their supply chain, their product quality, especially if they're going overseas, where we can help them, A, change sources and find the right source for the right prices, and B, based upon my background, make them understand how to forecast better, when to reorder, how to reorder, and make sure that the supply chain is kept flowing without over inventory. It's easy to buy 1 million pieces when you're selling 1,000 a month.
There you go. Now, tell us about your journey, how you arrived at this point, being in your own company, your own business. Could you share that journey with us, Bruce?
Yeah. A while back, I was called into the president of the company I was working for. And,
Uh-oh, I see it coming.
And he mentioned that it's not going to work out. I'd been with the company.
Very common.
I'd been with the company for 12 years. I was the vice president of operations, started out as inventory control manager, so I had a hard time believing that it wasn't working out. But in any event, that being said, I said, okay, I went out, looked for the next big thing, found out the next big thing didn't exist, that I had to create the next big thing, and that's when I decided to do BHR Global Associates and help people with their product, or if they needed to go to China, make sure that they, that they had the right resources there when they went through my contact base to say, because the first client I had, I said he was going to China, and I said, when did you learn how to speak Chinese? And he said, well, everybody over there speaks English. I said, there may be a lot of people who speak English, but there aren't that many that understand English. Anyway, set him up with a company in Shanghai, and they developed a relationship, and they became a customer of theirs, and it all worked out.
So your initial clients were people that you already knew from your time as in corporations?
Correct.
Okay. So why do you do this work now? This is your Act 2. Right. So why do you do this? Where do you get your meaning out of all of this?
Well, I enjoy helping people. I love product development and product sourcing, and it's what I did, and it's kind of in my blood. And I get pleasure from seeing people make their dreams come true, or in some cases prevent them from doing things they shouldn't because their dreams aren't going to happen. And it just something I love doing.
So my sense is that you can't work with everybody. So do you have a set of criteria that you use to evaluate a potential prospect to be a client before you'll agree to work with them?
Yes. If they've got an idea for a product, make sure that A, it's something the world needs. B, it hasn't been sold by somebody already. And C, that we're compatible. And D, that they actually have some funding behind them, be it personal or whatever, that can pay to move forward. Regardless of what I charge, there's cost to starting a business, and they have to have the wherewithal to say, okay, I can spend whatever, And it's not a lot of money, but if you haven't got $10,000, to just pick a low number, and you can get a business started for that little bit of money, then you're not capable of doing anything else.
Not going to have the impact that you really, really need. So share a story with us, if you don't mind, about that ideal kind of a client, something that really stands out in your mind.
Okay. Met a gentleman, happened to be from Arkansas, but anyway, he invented a product, and a single product is something very difficult to get into retail directly. So one item line is,
okay.
Isn't going to happen unless it's the next hula hoop or some other perceived something like that. So he came to me and he said, what can we do? I said, well, we'll go to the company I used to work for and find out from them what they needed to pay so that they could wholesale it for $1. Went to the president of the company, came back to me and said, we need to pay 60 cents. I went to my sources in China, found it for 29 cents, delivered to the door. The company I was working with has payment terms like they were a US-based company. So their payment terms was net 30 days after receipt of goods. So roughly 60 days after it was shipped, the gentleman had to pay for the product. I set up the payment terms with the company, net 15 days after receipt of goods. So he was getting paid in 45 days. Except for the first 2 orders, they paid on time. The man never took 1 penny out of his pocket. We sold somewhere in excess of 1 million pieces under that scenario where he was collecting 31 cents profit, paid me my commission, and the rest he kept.
So let's do the math on this. You helped him make an additional, what is that, $300,000?
$310,000, less my commission. He made over $250,000 from this invention, and he never had to take 1 penny out of his product, out of his pocket. And we could do that for other people as well.
Remarkable.
Thank you.
Not all of them are that simple, though.
Not all of them are that simple. Absolutely not.
So Do me a favor. Share with me the 3 key words that you would like our audience to remember about you in terms of the value that you deliver.
Okay? Honesty, professionalism, and can get the job done.
And you're also going to tell them if you can't.
And I'm going to be honest with them if they, I will tell them if you don't have a day job, get one, and if you haven't, and if you got one, keep it, because nobody's buying your product.
So give people an idea of how you get paid.
Well, 2 ways. One, if I'm doing strictly sourcing and product development, I will get paid a commission on the purchase orders placed for the product once it's sold. If I'm doing consulting work, where it's supply chain management and product development and product sourcing for a company, I will set up a fee schedule that will be reasonable for them and charge them a monthly fee or an hourly fee, depending on what works for them. It's all about them being comfortable with working with me, not me gouging them for funding.
How unusual is that in your business?
Unusual, I think.
All right,
Yeah.
because I asked you earlier what differentiates you. That payment terms is a big differentiator in this kind of economy that we have today. So we're going to take another break. We're going to come back, and Bruce is going to tell us about Act 3. We've had 1, we've had 2.
Right.
Now we're going to come back and talk about Act 3. We'll be back in a moment with What's Your Story?
Seniors want peace of mind and a free prescription discount card? Keep listening. Are you age 85 or younger? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from Final Expense Direct Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, and the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. Our senior plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam, and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone. Plus, call right now and you'll receive a free prescription discount card.
Call 855-223-7661. That's 855-223-7661. 855-223-7661.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Thousands of people contact General Steel each month for a pre-engineered steel building. Business owners who need office, retail, manufacturing, or storage facilities. Leaders who need churches, schools, and gymnasiums. They all want the same thing, the advantages of owning. To build quickly and save money. Quality, backed by our 50-year structural warranty. And they all want to work with a name they know, General Steel. Call us today for the building you need and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction.
When did you see the sign?
When I needed to create a better visitor experience.
Improve our workflow.
Attract new customers. That's when Fast Signs recommended Fleet Graphics.
Yeah, now business is rolling in. Get started at fastsigns.com.
Welcome back to What's Your Story? I'm here today with my guest, Bruce Rubin. Bruce has been telling us about his business, which is designed to take someone's idea and commercialize it. He's told us about his Act 1 before he got into Act 2, which is his own business. And now he's about to tell us about Act 3. He's got a great day job. That's Act 2. But he's also passionate about his Act 3. Bruce, tell the audience about Act 3.
Okay, my passion is playing basketball. I am the captain of a 3-on-3 team that competes nationally. We've had the team form, the basic team formed since 2008, when I was introduced to 2 gentlemen from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and through a third mutual acquaintance, and who had also played in the National Senior Games as well. Anyway,
so you were at least 65 at this time?
Well, we were at least 60. We were all roughly 65 at the time.
Good.
We then competed at the Pennsylvania State game. You have to qualify to play in the National Senior Games, which happens every other year in the odd-numbered years. So in the even-numbered years, you qualify for the National Games. In 2008, the three of us were the team, and we won the state championship in Pennsylvania, qualified to go to Stanford University in 2009.
How many teams played in the Pennsylvania tournament?
3.
3, okay.
We went to California. We picked up a player off the National Senior Games website, so we had 4 of us. I mean, he told us he was 6'2" and a great defender. Turns out he was 5'10" and couldn't guard anybody. But in any event, we lost every game we played. But we had a great time, and we met a lot of people who we see now every 2 years since. After those games, we were introduced to a 4th player. And in 2010, we qualified for the 2011 games in Houston. While we were qualifying in Maryland for the 2011 games, we played against a gentleman who was the youngest guy on their team. And all the other people on his team wanted to move up to the next age group. So we recruited him, and we liked him because he was 6'5" and could play. So
how old was he?
He was past 65 at the time.
Okay.
In 2011, we went with the 5 of us to Houston, and out of 16 teams, we came in 6th. And then picked up another player in between who was on a team from Pennsylvania, but they all were retiring and didn't want to play anymore. So in 2013, after qualifying in 2012, we were heading to Cleveland for the 2013 National Senior Games. Between the 4th of July and the beginning of the games 2 weeks later, 3 of the people got hurt and couldn't come to Cleveland. So we went to Cleveland with just 3 players, the original 3. We played, and at that time there were 24 teams in our age group. And what happens is you play pool play for the first round, then you get double elimination based upon your performance. We landed up in the 3rd group, and landed up getting a 4th place ribbon in the 3rd group, which means we came in 20th in the country. But we played, we were thrilled because it was just the 3 of us. And in fact, in one of the games, one of the teammates fouled out. So you can play with 2, which is kind of hard when you're playing against 3 guys. But we were thrilled. And that year, I also do race walking. And that year, I got a 6th place ribbon for the 5,000-meter race walk in Cleveland, walking around the football stadium. In 2015, we went to Minneapolis to play. We qualified. We had 5 of us. And we landed up with the bronze medal, with the 5 of us playing. And one of the backstories for that, on Mother's Day of 2015, I tore my meniscus. And on July the 15th, I was playing basketball in Minneapolis.
Wow.
So,
what surgical practice did you go to?
I don't know, but it worked. But, so we continued playing. In between, I joined the Philadelphia Masters Track Club and race walk and do relay races for them. I'm not that quick, but when you need 4 guys who are our age, I fit the bill. And in 2017, had a couple of thrills. One, we ran in our age group. We won a gold medal at the Penn Relays for the 4x400.
That's a big audience.
Big audience. Not necessarily at the time we were running, but that's okay. But it was a thrill. And we won the gold medal in our age group for the 4x400 relay.
Congratulations. You finally got the gold.
Finally got the gold.
Okay.
And then in last summer, 2017, we went to Birmingham, Alabama. One of the tall guy that I had mentioned before got sick. He's fine now and he's back playing. But we picked somebody else up and we came in 7th out of 23 teams in our age group. Subsequent to that, the 5th player we picked up, we decided we didn't want to use him again for various reasons. But the gentleman who was sick is a year younger than the rest of us. So we recently went out on a mission to find, quote unquote, a tall old guy.
A tall old guy.
to play on our team. And to qualify with us to go to next summer to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we're going to be playing in June, mid-June. So the 17th to the 21st is when we're playing. And so our mission is to find a tall old guy. And the parameters for this tall old guy is you got to be 6'5" or taller.
So listen up, audience. He wants a big, tall guy.
And you have to be 75 years old by 12/31/2019.
Oh my goodness. Could you say that again? How old?
75.
By when?
12/31/2019. So the 6'5" is easy, or relatively speaking. But one that somebody who can play basketball at that age, And one of my goals in last year's games, they added a new age group, 85 and over for teams, which is a new age group. For the rest of the national senior games, it's 50 to 100 plus. So it's 50 to 54, 55 to 59, so on to 100 plus. And so in 2029, we're all going to be 85 and over. That's my goal, is to play in the 85 and over. Hopefully by that time it's 90 and over, and we can still look ahead. And the thing about the National Senior Games is there's 10,000, people don't realize that every 2 years over 10,000 people come and compete from 50 to 100 plus.
Wow.
In Houston, I saw a man 102 years old throw the discus. And in another event, I saw a woman break the 200-meter record for women over 90.
So you're having fun with this.
I'm enjoying it.
And what I sense is companionship, whole new network, something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
As, not that you're at an advanced stage, but as we get older, we worry about what's going to keep us busy. And Act 3 is very important to your health, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Yeah, I take no medications.
Wow.
I weigh less now than I did when I was in high school, and feel terrific. And
well, I'm going to ask the audience, if you want to find out about this miracle, please give Bruce a call. Listen, we have to go.
Okay.
I hate to do this, but this has been very informative. Act 2, very interesting. Act 3, I think a lot of people would be interested in knowing, how do you do this every day? So I want to thank you for coming on the show, Bruce.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for tuning in to What's Your Story. Tune in next week, same time, same bat station, when I have an authentic guest who's going to be insightful and provide you with information you can put to use right away. Again, thank you very much. Have a great week.